I had no idea the British press was so bigoted.
This One's Wife. The memoir is coming. The Narcissist Future Fakes. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. I make a lot of videos about This One's Wife. I've got thousands of other videos which are nothing to do with her, and I'd encourage you, even if your primary interest is This One's Wife, to watch those other videos. Why? Because it helps you understand narcissism so much better. I cover so many different aspects of it. I have a massive catalogue of information that you can access for free. The reason that you ought to understand these other aspects of narcissism as described in the other videos is to help you understand precisely why This One's Wife behaves in the way that she does. The why there is the dynamic between her and Harry, the dynamic between her and her father, her siblings, etc. You see, notwithstanding the comprehensive output that I have created, there are still many people that don't appreciate that it is her narcissism that drives her behaviour. They think it's because she's evil or a gold digger or not a nice person. Whilst those adjectives might be accurate, they aren't accurate when it comes to being the driver for her behaviour. Time and time again, I see below the line in comment section people querying why she behaves the way that she does, and the answers are all contained within my work. I know that there are many of you who get it, that you understand and you continue to want to understand, and you enjoy the breakdown of her behaviours and also the pithy snark that I direct towards her alongside it. I know that you enjoy the occasional parodies that I create in relation to her behaviours as part of providing entertaining education. But there are still plenty of people who don't get it, and that's why I continue to make these videos, to ensure that they do get it, that there is a lesson about her narcissism each and every time. Unlike other sites which are just simply idle gossip, chatting about her, and they're entitled to do so, the fact is, this provides you with a meaningful understanding as to why she behaves in the way that she does, so that it dispels your confusion and also may well help you understand what you've been experiencing in your private life, which is what so many people write to me to confirm that they hadn't appreciated they were dealing with a narcissist until they watched the This One's Wife videos. In this one, we're going to examine the concept of future faking. This is regularly used by narcissists and is very simple. The narcissist uses a future event to control the now. Remember, the now is the most important aspect to the narcissist. 10 minutes ago, it's done, it's dusted. 2 weeks' time, doesn't matter. It's only relevant to the extent that it influences the now, because the narcissist operates in the now for the purpose of control and drawing fuel, of gaining character traits and residual benefits. Accordingly, the narcissism works to ensure that the narcissist is focused on gaining those things, one or all of them, of the prime aims, in this precise moment, and now this moment, and now this moment, and so on. And in some instances, the narcissist will use a future event, a future occurrence. For instance, commonly the narcissist will talk about, I can't wait for us to get married. This causes the victim to think, oh my goodness me, this person is really into me, they want to marry me. Thus, they act under control because they feel so pleased. They fountain with fuel by way of response. The narcissist never marries them. Why? They don't need to. Repeatedly making reference to the fact that marriage will occur at some future point enables them to control that victim in the now and draw fuel from them. Of course, there may come a point whereby the narcissist starts to wear thin the future faking. The victim starts to become impatient, and therefore the narcissist might have to shift to a different form of future faking, or actually take some minor steps that show that they are serious about the event that they're making reference to. Ordinarily, the victim is quite easy to please in that regard, part of their emotional thinking, and what enables the narcissist to make it so much easier for the purposes of gaining control and fuel through this future faking. When the narcissist engages in this future faking, they do actually intend to carry out the event. That's necessary in order to compel them to act with conviction. But once they've got what they've needed, whether the act actually occurs, well, it probably won't, because that's not important, because it's in the future. It's the now that matters. And thus, by using the future to get the now, the narcissist doesn't have to deliver on the future. Where the narcissist does deliver on the future, and it happens, that is because the narcissist has deemed that it was appropriate to do that for the purposes of the prime aims. So it's not every instance of referencing the future that amounts to future faking, but many of them. This one's wife may well be engaging in this, as Nika Shaknazarova writes the New York Post. This one's wife is set to expand on the mental health struggles she endured during her time in the palace in an upcoming tell-all memoir, according to a report. The Duchess of Sussex, 43, previously revealed she had battled suicidal thoughts during life as a royal in the United Kingdom, and briefly touched on her experience again in a CBS interview earlier this month. See parts passim. According to sources, the suit's alum is planning to say more once the time is right. The talk among their friends is that it's time to take the gloves off and do away with the diplomacy. Oh, right. So what have we been witnessing beforehand then? A source told Closer. There's so much demand for this one's wife to speak out, generated by her own PR, whether that's in the form of another sit-down interview or even her own memoir. She has the potential to make an absolute fortune and clear up a lot of questions. Now, pausing there, no doubt many of you are thinking, clear up a lot of questions? Yeah, let's ask her about whether she actually carried the children. Let's ask about the moon bump episodes. Let's ask her about the alleged first husband before Trevor Engelson. Let's ask her about the yachting girls. Let's ask her about what's really gone on with her father. These are all of the questions, of course, that people would like to pose to her, but she will never, ever allow anybody to ask her about them because they pose too great a threat to control. Instead, she, as always, wants to control the narrative. And what you're witnessing here is a combination of the use of threat and future faking. The suggestion that a memoir may be coming is being used as a inducement to those that are excited by the prospect so that they react favourably. Thus, she is able to control them in the now and draw fuel by way of their responses, but also as a potential threat in terms of asserting control over people who might be affected by what she has to say, by claiming that she's got more things that she can uncover. In the CBS interview, she talked about only scratching the surface of what went on with regard to her supposed suicidal ideation. Thus, the memoir is both being used as future faking and as a potential threat. And mid-range narcissists love using threat. It's easy to do, and it obtains the prime aims pretty easily. I won't go into the detail of that now, but if you want to understand more about why narcissists use threat and the manner in which it's done, watch my video, The Narcissist and Threats. Thus, here we have reference to the forthcoming memoir being utilised in order to control the now. This one's wife is notoriously lazy, and it might be that a memoir never ever appears. She will just keep using it like a sword of Damocles, hovering it and hanging it over those to suggest, I'm going to tell on you in my memoir, watch out. And thus, that is designed to try and assert control over those people who have apparently got something to lose by virtue of her disclosures. One of the big factors, however, that may well cause her to actually sit down and tap her fingers and write something out is the prospect of monetary gain. As a somatic narcissist, money is hugely important to this one's wife because it enables her to control other people, manage her facade, and so forth. And therefore, the potential for her to make big bucks arising from this memoir is particularly tempting. And it may well prove to be the case that her narcissism will drive her to take such a step in order to obtain that money. Thus, the suggestion is that a memoir is on the way. We know that Harry has written one. New York Post continues by explaining, rumours of This One's Wife tell-all book have been swirling ever since Harry's bombshell memoir Spare hit the shelves in January 2023. The Sussexes signed a lucrative 4-book deal with Penguin Random House in 2021. It wouldn't be This One's Wife's first written project if the rumours are true. Thus, it's suggested that there is a possibility of this memoir, and by circulating information about it, this is being done as a form of future faking and threat. Once again, it's all driven by her narcissism in order to get that control and get that fuel in the now. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.